So I flew myself to Mumbai before I did my audition because I thought a movie like this, you have to bring a very authentic voice to the character. And I was not aware of a red light district in India. My experience in India was very different. I had only seen the very polite and respectful side of India. So I went to Kamathipura and I walked at night, which is quite dangerous, and I had hired a camera crew, which is illegal, to walk with me, and they were in a Jeep with blacked out windows, and I had one person walking beside me who was a male, and everyone assumed because it was nighttime and I was walking there that I also was a prostitute, and they thought that he was my pimp, so they would approach him and solicit what the deal would be. You know, and these were the same men who earlier in the day on any other street would have treated me with so much respect and courtesy. But just because I was on that street at night, it was a very different reality. You know, they felt they could take the liberty of touching my arm, grabbing my hair, you know, treating me like I was just an object, that I didn't even have a right to speak with them. That was an eye-opening experience, but I brought that back with me because then I could actually approach this subject with a little more knowledge. And then I met with Jeffrey and I shared with him the video, and I think he thought I was very brave for being able to do that. And I think he saw how committed I was to being a part of this issue and finding solutions. And then I started working with him and I did my audition, and he called me and said, "I'm giving you the role." It helped me very much because it also gave me a purpose. It became much more than being an actress winning a role. For me, I realized the part that I would play was being a voice for the girls that I had met who did not have a voice. So then it took on a very different meaning. The entire project took on a very different meaning. And so I think every time I have done any kind of interview or we've done any type of Q&A, I remember that I'm speaking for those girls who are not being heard. It was wonderful, and you know, so I played the role of Mrs. Tripathi, who is a good person in the film, and she's working in the NGO trying to rescue the girls. So for me, it was a wonderful experience because my co-stars in the film are Gillian Anderson and David Arquette, who have a Western background from acting, but then we also co-star with Paramrita Chatterjee, who is a big star in India. What was amazing is every time we would have a few minutes break, Paramrita Chatterjee would be absolutely surrounded by hundreds of screaming girls because they would see him and they would go crazy. And Gillian and David would ask me, "Who is this guy?" You know, so I think the stardom in India, the way they revere their actors, is so much greater than what we experience in Hollywood. And that was wonderful to work with such big-named actors and see them do their work and kind of do this as a collaborative effort. It was amazing. I've gone all over the world with this film, and I feel very lucky to be able to do that. I'm also an associate producer on this film, so I have even more of a personal journey with it. And also, being an Indian American actress, it's a very personal journey for me because, you know, this story takes place in India, but it is a subject matter that takes place all over the world, and we are very clear about making that distinction, that this movie is not about pointing out something that is negative about India. It is not a story that is trying to point fingers at anything that's happening in India. It is bringing to light an issue that affects everyone around the world. This story just happens to take place in India. So I feel like being an Indian actress, I get to speak about that issue too, which is important to me. I would love to be in India. I think bringing this movie home to India would be an amazing honor. And I do believe that it'll be well received. You know, this movie is done with so much heart and hope, and I think everyone who has been a part of it has really given their best. So I think every time we've done a film screening at an Indian film festival, they have applauded, we've received standing ovations, we've been embraced by the community. So bringing it home to India, I think, would be a wonderful honor.